Hey guys, Baldwin4 back here, and sorry this reaction is incredibly overdue. Yes, when I watched Devon Heaven, I wasn't able to do the reaction then, and I don't know, after that I just forgot about it, and it's taken so long. I'm so sorry. Yeah, really sorry about that. Christmas has already just passed. Today's Boxing Day, as of recording this. Although if you're watching this overseas, it's probably still Christmas for you. So Merry Christmas, everybody. I should take the time to say Merry Christmas, and yeah, I'm looking forward to watching what is it? Last Christmas. I'm looking forward to watching that and doing my reaction, which will be up later, hopefully tonight. So anyway, um, basically, Death in Heaven. So let's get into it. The story. So it carries on from Dark Water. I keep forgetting. Anyway, carries on. So Missy reveals herself as the Master. It turns out she's the female Master, and Clara's trapped with the Cybermen back in St. Paul's Cathedral, I believe. St. Paul's Cathedral, and Danny Pink was about to delete his emotions. So anyway, it opens up and Clara's with the Cybermen, and they're about to basically eliminate her, and then she tries to bluff out of it by saying she's not Clara Oswald. Clara Oswald never existed. She made it all up, and they're like, "What is it?" She's like, "I'm the Doctor," and then there's a title sequence with her eyes, Jenna Coleman's eyes, and the titles instead. And you're like, "Whoa, this is interesting." Wow, and it doesn't really go anywhere at all. I'll talk about that when I talk about my overall thoughts of this. Um, basically, um, whoops. Anyway, sorry. Basically, um, Danny Pink he's decided not to delete his emotions, and actually before that, the Cybermen are around in London, and they're walking around, and people are taking pictures of them because I don't know. And anyway, they think they're cool, I guess. Anyway, so the Doctor's just found out, and basically you know, someone there, and then suddenly Unit comes in, and Kate Lethbridge Stewart and Osgood are back, and there's this really cool moment where Kate she gets a Cyberman helmet like the style from the Invasion. Rosa's like, oh, this is from one of your previous tests, all damaged. It was pretty cool. So it was a nice throwback. It was pretty good. So they surround them, and then they bring the Doctor and the Master, or Missy, however you want to say it, onto the ship, and Cybermen basically they fly away. Yeah, the Cybermen. These recent designs of Cybermen have usually been cited as looking a lot like Iron Man from the mostly Iron Man from the films with Robert Downey Jr. And yeah, they do. I mean, they got the arc reactor, they got this similar armor and the helmet. They go so far, like the way they fly looks almost exactly like it. They got the same position. Like it looks, it's ridiculous. So anyway, they go on board, and the Doctor has been designated president of Earth. So he's assigned to protect the Earth from this current threat. So anyway, meanwhile, as Clara was trying to escape from the Cybermen, one Cyberman there shot the other two, and basically saved her from the other one. So, this summon is rather mysterious. He's not bad, and he doesn't want to kill Clara. And there's been mystery around it. So, as it turns out, on the ship, and just by the way, I might be saying some of this out of order, but it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember the story quite well, but I might get some of it out of order, but sorry if I do. So anyway, meanwhile on the ship, Missy, she seems to be, she seems to be a step ahead. She seems to have something going on. The Doctor sort of recognizes it, but no one else seems to really catch on. They're a bit suspicious, but not entirely. And anyway, during that time, there's stuff going on there. They're talking about what they're going to have to do, and there's this really cool scene where Osgood's at the computer, and the master's basically saying that if she does this or something like that, she will kill her. And at first I was thinking, she's not gonna die, and then she does the thing, and she disappears. She disappears, and then she's like, "Where'd you go?" And she comes up, and then she kills Osgood, and I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." Because I'm sorry, but I didn't like Osgood. I thought she was a generic nerd stereotype, so I'm glad that she's gone, because really. And then she steps on her glasses, which I thought was a cool touch, and made it more menacing, if you know what I mean. I like that. It was really the only time in the story where she came across as somewhat menacing, and and then the Cybermen, they attack the ship, and there's that. And they fly past and attack it, and there's all this hectic stuff going on, and the Master manages to escape. And during this time, it is revealed that the Nethersphere is dispersing, so it's like making it's like a rain cloud. And it's gonna rain down. But the plan is, when it rains down, it will resurrect the dead as Cybermen, which is actually rather cool. It's a pretty cool idea. It's pretty creative. And then the dead start coming back as Cybermen, and Kara's in the graveyard, and then all the Cybermen start coming back. But there's, of course, that one mysterious Cyberman. And as it turns out, this Cyberman is, in fact, is Danny Pink. And he takes off the faceplate, and again, it's a little like Iron Man, where he can take off the faceplate, and he takes it off, and there's this, Danny's face is all pulled, and it's pretty good makeup work, and it is kind of disturbing. I mean, it's well done, so I'll give him that. So anyway, yeah, it's all, he's a Cyberman, and he's gonna lose his emotions, but Kyle doesn't want him to, and he has to, because he wants to end the suffering, and the Doctor comes, and by the way, before that, there's this really awesome scene where he's on the ship, and he flies out, and the TARDIS is falling, and he manages to get into the TARDIS as they're falling, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of pointless, but it's pretty cool. I'll give it that. So when he arrives to the graveyard, and he says that you have to, get rid of his emotions, and the car doesn't want to initially, and then they have to, and she does, and to basically end the cyber reign, basically Danny, he leads all up the Cybermen like soldiers, and then puts out a thing to self-destruct, so they all fly out and go poof. And I also forgot to mention, when they were on the plane, a few characters fell out the plane. I know the one of the guys fell out. I can't remember his name, but he was a prime minister or a president. I cannot remember. I'm sorry, but he falls out. I think he's pretty much dead. And Kate Osgood also fell out the plane, so we're like, wow, she's probably dead. Anyway, so I'll get on to that in a bit. So they self-destruct all the Cybermen, and the Master is at first wants the the Doctor might shoot her. I think he has the ray gun, and he's going to shoot her. And anyway, it's about to, or and then suddenly there's a laser blast, and then poof, poof, and it looks like either she might have teleported or she might have gotten shot. Who knows? And then there's a Cyberman there. And earlier on in the episode, Kate said, how he never got to salute her father. The Doctor never got to salute her father. Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. So, as it turns out, this Cyberman is in fact Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. So, I don't know, I say it like that because it sounds awesome, and Sylvester McCoy is awesome. Yeah, that was my Sylvester McCoy impersonation. Merry Christmas. I don't even know what I'm doing. Whatever. Yes. Sorry. So anyway, basically, it looks like he shoots Missy, or she could have disappeared. But, yeah. Who knows? So basically, the Doctor finally gets to salute Brigadier and everything's all good. And then Danny Pink is also gone now. He's dead, and it's very tough. And then the following few months they've been gone, and then they reunite Doctor and Clara, and then the Doctor says how he's finally found Gallifrey. He's solved the mystery. He's finally found it, and he's gonna go back. And Clara's like, "Oh, that's great," and that's all fine. And then it turns out there's like flashbacks to it of the Doctor when he's finding. It turns out the coordinates because it turns out during the graveyard, just before the Master was disappeared. I'll just say she disappeared. She gave some supposed coordinates, direction to Gallifrey, and he followed those, and of course it was just a lie. And he's very mad, and he's really pissed, and hulks out all over the console and blows shit up, and yeah. So it's obviously very hard on him, and he's lying, of course, and I guess that was sort of a theme, or maybe a running theme in the next series, and yeah, so it ends like that, and it's great, and they part ways, and and then basically he's on a TARDIS and end credits, and hang on, can't end like that, and when he's on the TARDIS, Santa Claus walks in and says, so, what do you want for Christmas? So, yeah, what do you want for Christmas? Who knows? Anyway, basically, so yeah, that was Death in Heaven, and I thought it was a decent episode in ways. It was somewhat better than Dark Water, but in other ways, it was actually worse. Thinking about it now, when I initially saw it, I actually liked it better, but watching it now, thinking back on it now, I actually kind of like it a little less than Dark Water. The whole opening, it's like they completely forgot about Danny, like, with the motion thing, and they didn't even, like, bring it up. And there's also this subplot, I forgot to mention because it was so forgettable, this subplot, they introduced it in Dark Water, about this little boy he killed in war by accident, and, he's in this, and at the end, Clara, it looks like Danny's going to return because he has one chance, but he brings the little boy because, he needs another chance, and it seems like Clara's looking after him now, or maybe she sent him to a foster home, or something like that. And basically, it was so poor. Like, they don't even share. Danny and the boy don't even share any dialogue. He just like little boy just runs away when they're at the table, and that's pretty much it. It's really poorly handled, and the Cybermen again are just really. They're really boring. They don't do anything. They just look like Iron Man, and that's it. They're fake. They're plasticky looking. I don't care for them. I really want them to go back to. I'd love to see. Even Capaldi's expressed he would love to see an episode with the original styled Cyberman from the 10th planet. That would be pretty cool, and if they could fit it into the storyline, maybe do like an origin, like similar to Spare Parts, maybe do an adaptation of that. I'd love to see that. They really need to bring them back because they were some of the best Cybermen, maybe my favorites, possibly, because they were really creepy and really well done. Yes, they're cheap looking, but there's something about that that just uncannily, I don't know, it's something weird about them. I don't know. But anyway, and the Master, the Missy being the Master, I've expressed it before, I think, but anyway, yeah, she's not the Master, she's just another generic Stephen Moffat villainess. End of story. She's the Master in name only. End of story. Anyway, so as for and then there's some parts and also it turns out that when Kate Vale the plane, Alistair, I should say the Brigadier because it's awesome. The Brigadier caught her just as she fell, as a Cyberman. So that was a little weak. I thought, that was kind of pointless. But there's just some parts that don't really go anywhere. Some characters I couldn't care for. There's this stuff I really don't really know. I don't know. This felt like it wasn't complete. Like there were some parts they had ideas about, but they didn't really, they were just kind of like, oh, this and that, but didn't really think it through. Another thing is, there's some parts where I was thinking, like, couldn't they have done that better? like, I think when it was revealed that Danny Pink was a summon, they could have honestly done that better. Like, instead of him just holding a piece of paper and showing it, they could. It's pretty obvious who it is, so they didn't really need to show, the back of his hand with a piece of paper, But anyway, performances are again good. Jenna Coleman, Peter Capaldi, Samuel Anderson, Michelle Gomez. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Are all great. They're all really good, and they do their parts well. So yeah, and there's some fun scenes in there, with Danny, and the scenes between Danny and Clara are pretty good. They are well done, and Peter Capaldi does have some pretty good moments. When he's all confident, and he's the doctor. He's gonna figure this out, and yeah. So honestly, yeah, not a perfect story, but it has some good things about it, and there's some stuff that I do like about it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Death in Heaven, the series finale of season 8. But for now, we've got one more. We got the Christmas special, and then it's on to series 9. But I'll see you next time. This is my sonic screwdriver. It's pretty cool, eh?